one thing about Dak, seeing him come back after the injury. I'm sure you expected it, but seeing it in person, what'd you think?
Looked great. I mean, looked really good. And every time I see him each year, I just think he continues to get better and better. And I know that there's a lot of concern about the ankle and how he's doing there. It's heck, probably stronger than his other ankle with everything that he has in it. But I thought he looked great today, and I expect him to really have an outstanding season.
You know how important the leadership aspect is.
Yeah.
Can you talk about his leadership acumen?
Well, I think he's the best at it. I mean, I honestly do. I'd put him in the category of a handful of players in this league as far as that goes. What he represents for this organization, for our league, the type of person he is, the type of teammate he is. I was telling Jerry when I was visiting with him that I really haven't been around that many players, either as a broadcaster or as a player myself, that carry themselves the way that he does. I think the Cowboys are really fortunate to have someone like him representing the team.
Troy, how and why is it that being the Cowboy quarterback is somehow different in terms of leadership and elsewhere?
Well, I think the challenges are maybe a little bit different for the Cowboys quarterback because of the visibility and the expectations and coming in each season. But I've always said that I don't know that the pressures are any more demanding for the Dallas quarterback as they are for any of the other 31 franchises. There's only 32 of these jobs. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of expectations that come with that. But when you're the quarterback for such a visible franchise like the Cowboys, I think that you're really under a microscope then, and you hope that you have someone who can deal with that part of it and still go out and perform on the field. And I think Dak's got the perfect temperament and is a perfect guy.
Speaking of expectations, what are yours for them?
I think they've got a chance to be really good. I mean, I really do. I hate for that to sound generic, but offensively, I expect them to be as explosive as anybody in the game. And I know that last year's defense was not, that good, and there's some concerns there. Until they show it on the field, there's going to be those questions. But I believe that the players that they have, if health, I hate to even say if they stay healthy, that's true for all teams, but I believe that if the players that they have can play to the ability that we all know that they can play to, I think that they should have plenty of defense to complement an explosive offense and win a lot of games.
Troy, speaking of showing it on the field, will Dak really truly know that he's okay until he takes that first hit?
No, he knows. He knows now. Yeah, he absolutely does. And whether or not he has any soreness or anything like that following these workouts, I don't know. I mean, he'll have to answer that. But the hits are the hits. There's not. He knows it's whether or not it's 100% can hold up. And like I said, I mean, he's got a lot in there. He's got some steel rods and a plate and everything else. So he may break his leg, but it won't be where the break was last year.
Troy,
so conversation about with Jerry more finance or football today?
A little of both. I don't think you ever stray too far away from finance when you're talking to Jerry or football, for that matter. So I will say that some of my best conversations about finance and business have been from Jerry Jones, and nobody does it better. So it was good. It was good to catch up with him. I haven't been able to talk to him in quite a while.
Troy, so obviously the first game.
The other day, Troy.
What's that?
So sentimental. Jerry was the other day. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I
at the
did.
press conference.
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
Well, I think that as we get older, we're all getting more sentimental. It seems. I mean, I seem to be shedding more tears these days than I used to.
So
and we're
first
get
test of the
Canton.
season for the Cowboys can be a harder one, right, against the NFL champs. What do the Cowboys have to do to tackle this game against the Bucs?
Well, it'll be a test for sure. I mean, they've got all their players back, and to go play there and against a really good team that feels awfully good about themselves, it'll be a good test for them to see where they're at. And but it's great for the league, to put these franchises together on the first game. I'm excited about it, and look forward to seeing how it goes.
Speaking of emotion, here comes Canton.
Yeah.
And I assume you'll be there, and,
Yeah.
and Jerry will be there, and Jimmy will be there. You might want to shave, by the way, speaking of getting older. You're going get a little gray.
Yeah.
But Jerry, Jimmy, and you and the gang.
Yeah, and it'll be good. It'll be good to have everybody there, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for Jimmy. This will be the first time that Cowboys fans have really gotten a chance to celebrate what he's meant to those teams that we were a part of. So it should be a great scene, and I know they're getting a lot of these former coaches and players together, and some of these players maybe haven't had a chance to really thank Jimmy for what he meant to them either. And so it'll be a big time in Canton. Now he says he's going to have the shortest speech in the history of. It's he's going second to last, so that doesn't help anything. I mean, Cowher might be appreciative of that, but I hope some of those guys that go earlier giving some short speeches too.
You belong in the Ring of Honor here sooner than later.
He will. He'll get in. That'll come. It's just a matter of when. I hope we're all around to see it when it does.
You're talking with Jerry. How has your relationship with him changed the kind of farther away you've gotten from playing, and just the nature of the conversations changed, I guess, and probably a little bit of the relationship?
Yeah, no, I mean, Jerry's been a big part of my life. I was his first pick ever when he bought the Cowboys in '89. We've been through a lot of good times, been through some tough times, but I'm thankful for all that Jerry has done for me over the years, and it was good to catch up with him today. But yeah, it's good. So time heals a lot of wounds.
Sorry, sitting down with a lot of us here in a little while, and one of us may ask if you would ever consider bringing in an outside GM, say like, for example, somebody like Troy Aikman. Your hat in the ring at all? Would you ever consider? Would you ever want any part
I don't know. I got that job. I got is pretty good over there with Fox. I mean, you know how good that Fox job is.
Mine isn't as good as yours.
Maybe one day. I don't know. I see your Instagram posts. Are you even going to studio these days?
I'm sure you may have already asked this, but being presenting Jimmy, what does that mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, I've said it that. It's the greatest honor I could have received is for someone to ask you to present them in the Hall of Fame, and it's a bigger honor. I don't take lightly me going into the Hall of Fame, but it's a bigger honor to me personally than even when I win, because that person can choose anybody he wants, and so it meant a lot. And Jimmy and I, we've been through a lot as well,
right,
during my playing career, and we've become really, really close friends over the years, and for him to want me to be the one to present him, it's like I said, it's just the highest honor I've ever had.
Can you talk about this for a minute? Because you turned him down twice. You turned him down in high school. You turned him down in college. You get drafted by the Cowboys, and then y'all kind of get off to a bad start because of Walsh, and how did that y'all mend those fences? And was it the fish tank?
Well, yeah, it was that's what he says anyway. It was the fish tank, and I think winning did probably more to help that relationship than the fish tank. Truth be told, when he and I started to mend our fence, we won back-to-back world championships, and then we've been able to maintain a great friendship because of the fact that we're employed by Fox, and so we see each other a lot. And it's a relationship I'm really proud of because it does go back many, many years. I first met Jimmy when I believe I was 15 years old. Went to his camp and he recruited me. I was his #1 recruit coming out of high school. First time a head coach can come pay a recruit a visit at their home. Jimmy was at my home in Henrietta, Oklahoma, and I did turn him down. And again, then when I was transferring, when he wanted me to attend the University of Miami. So yeah, we go back a long way, and there were some pretty tough moments for he and I, and it's probably a huge upset that I'm the one presenting him for the Hall of Fame. If anybody was around during that time, they wouldn't have foresaw that. So
How did he handle those two? I mean, because again, he's a very persuasive guy, especially in that setting.
Who's that?
Jimmy, and turning him down twice. How did he handle it? Was he gracious about it?
He was. He was pretty good. Both times I turned him down were over the phone. So I don't know what it would have been like had it have been in person. That made it a little bit easier. So, thanks guys.
Thank you.